Yo, man, what's going on with y'all? Did you miss me? you already know who it is. I don't even have to explain. I don't have to say the name no more. Y'all know who it is. How y'all doing on this Sunday? It's nice outside. Hopefully you all was able to go out there and get a walk in. I did with my best friend. I enjoyed it. We was out there just releasing everything we've been going through and stuff like that, which made me want to come on and do and share my thoughts. But that's not the only reason. But before we get into all that, make sure you scan that QR code right here, to get full access of Heartbeat Arena's latest episodes from 1 through 11. Working on episode 12, it's the playoffs and everything of that nature. Just making sure I get, deliver that good content to you all. And if you all like, the channel and everything, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. It helps us go away. We're still trying to hit that goal of 5,000 subscribers by the summertime, So hopefully, share with your friends, family members, the dog, cat, whoever. But I was doing some walking Saturday, I was just clearing my mind, thinking about what content to put out, and I get stopped by a white kid named Mike. He was like, "Hey, you look familiar." I was like, I'm sorry. He was like, "No, you look familiar. Don't you be on YouTube?" And I was like, Yeah, I'll be on YouTube. He was like, "Oh my gosh, you're him." I was like, I'm trying to figure out what is he talking about, and he was like, You're Chuck. You're Trillionaire Chuck. You do Heartbeat Arena." I was like, man, my friend had a card of yours, and he subscribed, and I was watching it, and I was watching one of the episodes, and I was like a huge fan. I was like, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, he probably want an autograph. Nah, he was just like, he wanted to talk to me. So I was like, okay, I was just, like I said, I was walking. I was just happened to be walking around, me and him started talking. And so he was like, man, he was telling me about a situation he was having. It was this girl he met in college, because he go to the University of Chicago. And he met her at a frat party, got her number and stuff, and he's like, they was talking for a bit, but then they stopped talking. So he was like asking me for advice as to why they stopped talking. And I was like, well, Mike, tell me more about what happened. So he goes on to tell me that he was like, they both were, no, she was a junior, he was a sophomore, and he was majoring in, I think it was chemistry. He was majoring in chemistry, I believe, and she was majoring to be a doctor and stuff. So he was just like, they started off the connection. He felt it was a connection, but then, he was like, it got into like little short answers, small remarks, and I was like, well, what did you say to her? So then he shows me the text, and I'm looking at the text, and I'm like, okay. So I saw like she was kind of, the tone of the text, like I tell people, it's not so much what you say in the text, but like the tone of the text could determine if you are like being nice or being like an asshole in a way. So he saw so I'm reading the text, and I was like, how long has she been single? Mike was like, she only been single for like 2 months. I was like, what's the longest relationship she been in? So he was like, she got out of a 5-year relationship. I was like, Mike, you may not want to try to date her. And so he was like, well, why? I was like, and so at the time I said, because she may not be fully over that relationship. Because her and the dude been together for 5 years. It's still fresh. So you gotta try to be more like a friend and stuff, or just, fall back until she's ready to date. So then Mike was like, man, but I felt it was a connection, I like her and stuff like that. I said, yeah, Mike, you can like her, but she probably don't like you the same way. I said, because if she did, she would be respectful of how you feel and your feelings. Look at this message, she said. Like, this message, how I'm looking at it, is like a smart alecky message and stuff like that. And all you really asked her was, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And she replied, why do you want to know? You're asking an awful lot of questions. That's kind of smart. Smart as remark, when she should have said either she don't know or she should have told you. So Mike had to sit and think about it, and Mike was like, man, you right, Chuck. He was like, man, I guess it's just that, it's hard to find someone. Mind you, me and Mike, we're walking, right? So we're walking all through Hyde Park, right? We just walking and talking. So I was telling him, I said, I understand, Mike. I mean, it is hard to date in this modern day age because of technology and because you got ladies that want to act like guys, and they're not ladies, they're not true women anymore. So he was like, man, Chuck, how do you do it? I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, how do you give all this relationship talk, but don't you at some point want to be married? I was like, I did. I was like, I do, but I'm not gonna, like I told him, I'm not settling for no one. Like, I was talking about, I said, my preferences in women may be different from your preferences in women. And like I was telling him, I was like, Mike, my preference is a woman can't talk like a man. She can't come to me with on bro, on folding a grave, talking like a dude. Be a woman, talk like a woman. She can't come in trying to control and dictate everything in a relationship. It's not going to happen. And then I also told her, like, she has to know how to dress. She has to want the relationship just as much as I do. When I was telling Mike this, I was like, Mike, like, she has to, if she hasn't heard from me in a minute, I want her to be like, yo, hey, I was, just tell me how she feeling. Hey, I haven't heard from you. Because, I have a busy life like the next person, but I set aside time for those who are worth my time. That's one thing we can't get back, Mike. He was just shaking his head like, no, I'm trying to help him out here with this situation. So, but he was like, but I was telling him like Mike, like, they gotta want you as equally. Even though one might give more than the other, it still has to be an equal balance. Okay? Y'all shouldn't go no more than a day and a half, maybe two, without at least saying hi to each other. If you guys are planning to be in a serious relationship. So Mike was like, he's like, well, that's what I thought, because we used to talk and stuff and see each other, but that's just, it's like it fell off, man. Like, I just don't get these women. That's what he was saying. I was like, Mike, the upbringing, the technology changed a lot. It changed a lot. Like, women nowadays want to do things for clicks and likes. They want to clout chase "Yeah, what you mean, Chuck?" I was like, women to date a dude that's not even good for them. He ain't got nothing going for him, but because he's famous or he got clout in the streets, they'll give that man the world. And someone like you who got something going on, who has a future, who's in school, they won't give you the time of day. And he was like, damn. I was like, women get intimidated by guys who are successful. They get intimidated by guys who are about something, who stand for something. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, if you got your stuff together, you're in college, you pursuing your degree, you're on the right path to make something of your life. Certain women will find that intimidating. And then I was also telling Mike, I was like, Mike, when I tell women what I do, they find that intimidating because they're like, well, where do they fit in at? And the minute they say that, it's like they're already defeated. They feel like they can't offer you nothing because you have everything and more. So those are the type of women you really don't want to be around. Those are the type of women that's going to forever chase as we call them, the pookies and the runaways, the ones who destroy the community, who don't do nothing for the community. Not even so, they're not about nothing. They're gonna be the ones that's mooching off her, driving her car, and all this other stuff. And she's steady gonna be, stuck in that cycle. And then when she come across someone like you, she's already torn down to the point where if it's good, she runs from it because it's not what she's used to, Mike. And then Mike was after that, Mike's gonna have a good future. He's gonna be okay. It's not the first time like someone had talked to me about that. But after me and Mike got done talking, he appreciated the advice and he said, "I'm looking forward to episode 12," and that meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me. Because I remember when I was at South Suburban and this guy was crying. I don't know what's going on. He was like, he couldn't get a girl. And I was like, I don't know. He was like, why can't I get a girl? It's like, bro, I don't know. I don't have those problems. Like, I don't have those problems. I mean, I said maybe it's how you carry yourself. Maybe it's the type of women you're trying to get that don't want you. Like, I don't know. See, and that's the thing. And when I was talking to him about that at South Suburban, he later the next day he was feeling better. But it was just one of those guys, you stand your ground for what you believe in when it comes to dating and stuff like that. If we as men, I know we don't exactly know what we want or see in a woman, but we know we will have something good when we see it, right? But it has to be like an even fair exchange. It has to be. Otherwise, one is going to feel like they give more than the other, then one is going to be like, you know what, nah, I ain't finna do this, because they're going to think you don't care. Like certain people think I don't be caring. It's like, nah, I care, but I'm not finna put up with the BS. I ain't finna put up with the BS. Nah. So, I just wanted to get on the talk and share that little story with you all. Like, Mike's gonna be fine, but Mike just yeah, he needs to just focus on his degree more and not these women, because they don't really know what they want in this world, and they don't. And when they always talk, they want a good guy, and then when that good guy comes along, it's too late because they're already damaged from past relationship or trauma that they don't want to step out their comfort zone. And the minute a guy can approach them, but then they always falling for that same type of guy. and wonder what, and then they're the ones that's like, well, ain't no good men out there. Nah, because when the good guy came along, you treated him like shit, or you didn't want to go out your comfort zone to show him that you cared. You didn't want to reach out to him no more. You want to argue with them, or whatever the case might have been. You did that, and and it's time to start taking accountability. Same with dudes. Dudes is the same way. Accountability goes a long way. Sometimes you really gotta look in the mirror and be like, you know what, I did talk to them like this. I was wrong for that. Even if it don't, make it to that next level, at least just get it off your chest. Like, yo, you know what? I'm sorry for how I treated you, and I'm sorry for how I was talking to you. I just want to let you know that. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not make you. It doesn't make you weak or nothing. Like, we are in a time where everybody wants to be so prideful. Everybody wants to be so right about everything. You know what pride gets you in this stuff? Lonely. People not want to help you out, not want to talk to you, not want to be around you. Because you're prideful. Because you don't want to admit when you're wrong. You don't want to admit you could be the problem. Self-reflection is huge. Accountability is huge. And some people will never understand that. And they'll keep living this vicious cycle of not feeling belong and all that stuff because they don't want to accept accountability, or they'll feel like, oh, the world is against me. No, sweetheart, no, my dude. It's you. Look how you talk to people. Look how you play with people's feelings and emotions. Just because someone did it to you don't mean you do it to the next person. You learn from it. You heal from it. When I mean heal, you really heal from it. That's what you do. You don't, like, drinking yourself to death, that ain't gonna cut it. You're just putting a band-aid over it. And then you're destroying yourself. Smoking every day, that's not gonna heal your trauma, past experiences, nothing, because all you're doing is putting a band-aid over it, and you're killing yourself. You're doing a detriment to yourself. So when you look in the mirror 3 weeks, 2 months, 3 months from now, you're like, damn, you don't look the same. Nah, because all that alcohol you drinking and all that weed smoking you doing all aged you. Now, you ain't hot no more appearance-wise. Because you don't want to face your trauma in your past head on. Face it head on. Even if you got to go to therapy. Because how can you try to love someone, you haven't even faced your demons inside. You haven't confessed, you ain't went to therapy, you ain't talked it out with someone you fully trust. That's what, Mike was dealing with a chick like that. It's like 5-year relationship, she ain't ready to date. She not ready to date. She wanna live her life. She wanna have the enjoyment of being single and not having to be confined to someone. But that's why I said Mike will be fine, because he gonna find someone that is ready. And that's gonna love him how he should be loved. Just like, with women. Once a woman heals, that right guy's gonna come. They just can't live off past experience. Or once a woman fully heals, that right guy probably already came. And they know it, and they know deep down inside he can. But the connection, lost because she's not healed. But when she finally heals, she better hope that dude is still available, because it's going to be a woman that's healed and that's going to snatch him up. And there's going to be another what could've moment. But I just wanted to tell that little story, that's all. I'm about to go do this laundry and stuff, got y'all. But yeah, the new merch is out for black guys and guys. You know, the man's two-tone t-shirts, and then Ship Squad camo hoodies is out, so make sure you all cop that gear and everything of that nature. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you scan the QR code, hit the like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. Come on, help a brother out. Like I said, when I get to 5K, I'm passing out money. Now, if y'all don't want the money, then, you know, that's fine. You know, Chuck can keep it to itself. But yeah, y'all, like, honestly, though, summer's about to approach. Y'all heal. Please, like, take a look in the mirror and release past trauma, past relationships, past friends. Release all of that. Journal, if you have to journal your thoughts every day. Okay? Once you do that and you are finally healed, you're over those past experiences, you're going to start seeing, like, man, you're going to feel so much better. The stuff you was doing, you're going to be like, man, I ain't doing that. All that drinking every day, I just had a moment. I don't need to do that. I need to get my body and stuff back right. Because I'm telling you, some of y'all that's younger than me look older than me because of stress, past trauma experiences, and all that stuff. Release it. Get it out. Get it off your chest. Confess. Go outside. Go walk. Bond with nature. Go walk. Even if it's by yourself. Go walk, or go walk with someone you trust, and just release everything. Release all the emotion. Release everything you've been going through. What I like to do is I like to go to the water and release everything that I went through, everything that I'm going through. I throw it in the water, and it's like a bunch of weight just lifted off me. Like when me and my best friend, when we was out talking, it was like so much weight was lifting off. Because we was just getting everything out. Me and we was talking, we was getting it all out. We was getting everything out. And, you know, it was a good feeling. But let me let y'all go. I just want to tell that little quick story. You know, they ran into me in Hyde Park, you know, and, you know, I'm always willing to give advice to people when they reach out, you know. Y'all could hit me up whenever, leave a comment and stuff, or, you know, email a brother. I'll probably drop the email in the link, but, you know, it's charles9828@gmail.com. Email your questions. You know, I want to do segments where we do questions and I answer y'all questions. You know, I'm here to help y'all so we can all build and be a strong community and strong group of people. But it starts with you. It starts with you. It starts with you and looking in the mirror, taking accountability, recognizing, you know, just finding what makes, fixing all the things that, you know, fixing all the things that was broken, picking up those pieces, and just learning what makes you, you know, you happy again. Because it's not the alcohol, and it's not the pills, and it's not the weed, it's not the shrooms. Nah. Find out what makes you happy. And whomever you might have harmed because you was like, whomever you might have harmed, you might not even know you harmed that person. But whomever you might have harmed because you were in that dark place because of the past trauma experiences that you went through, reach out to that person and make it right by them. I'm not saying you gotta date them or nothing, but just make it right by them. It don't have to be. It doesn't have to be sexual. I'm not saying you gotta have sex with the person. I'm not saying you gotta date them. Just make it right. Talk to them. Explain to them. You know. That way, it's no hard feelings, because that person you probably hurt is that person that can help you grow in your life, in your journey through life. That could be the person that gets you that next job or that promotion. You don't even know it. Because now it's about networking. And yes, people do hold on. People know who hurt them. But yeah, y'all, let me go. Make sure to always love yourself and each other.